Hello, you are listening to Ultra Q, episode 60. My name is Red. I am joined by Mel.
You know, I think it's pretty big-brained of the writers to have the episode where the protagonist of Return of the Ultraman shows up, and it's actually a different guy. Pretty big-brained and very appropriate, I think.
Yeah. He's never returned before and been a different guy than the guy we were expecting. Also joining us, Brad.
You know, I'd love to stick around in a podcast, but I actually need to investigate this camp of biker babes that I think are up to no good. I think I'm just going to spend the night.
I really like the description of cyclists as bikers. It's really making them sound way cooler than they are.
I don't know, that transformation was pretty sick. I don't know what you're talking about.
This is true.
This is the logical extension of Kamen Rider being in the air.
Yeah. Coming up, we have got cyclists. No, we have not got cyclists first. We've got something else first. Yes, we've got Hideki Go. Or is it? We have got Uber driver sucked me off. And we have got carnivorous plant. We've got Little Shop of Horrors. So all that to look forward to in Ultraman Ace. Before we get to any of that, what have we been up to? Brad?
I've been immersing myself in Seed this past week, and by that I mean Gundam Seed.
That's worse.
Yeah, Seed Freedom's out on fucking Tuesday. And I went, oh, fuck. I was trying to catch up on my rewatch for that. I think I have enough time to finish Seed, the TV show proper. And then I think what I'll do is I'll just probably end up watching that stupid 4-part, like, special edition, like, compilation TV movie thing.
Destiny?
For Destiny. Which, honestly, probably will save me some sanity. You know, I don't got much to say. I don't think we fucking talk about this show way too much on this podcast already. So I don't got too much to say other than I think this time around I've decided that Yazak's just my guy. Because every time he shows up on screen, he's just pissed off, and I'm pissed off, and I kind of feel a connection there. But yeah, I don't like that show. It's not very good.
No, it's not very good.
There are people talk about these characters sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't think anything that people talk about these characters is actually in the show. It's so zero substance.
Yeah, it's extremely blank canvas. You can think kind of whatever the hell you like about them.
Yeah, it is
kind of just make up dynamics wholesale in your head, which is how some shows do things, but like this is just like to such an extreme that it's like everyone could be living so much better than they choose to.
Yeah. And I feel like the characters, they do actually have like, you could have, there is room for more intense character work here, like Flay and Kigali. I'm like, oh no, I do not like how the show treats them at all. So yeah. Not having a good time, but I will report back on whatever the fuck that movie is like. Well, Red, you've seen it already.
I've seen it already.
Yeah.
Maybe if I see it.
Oh, go ahead.
Maybe if I see it, we can do a spoiler cast.
Possibly.
I had a great time watching that in a room full of people who were down to laugh at it.
That's good. That's always good. When you and the crowd are in agreement.
The guy next to me started laughed at it briefly, and I was like, okay, I'm safe. I'm good. Everything's fine. So yeah, silent bond with the people in the crowd who were having a similar time to me. The fellow haters represent. Yeah, Sea Freedom's not a very good movie. Spoilers.
I wasn't expecting much. It does feel weird in that I'm like, damn, I feel like I will be turning the final page on a bizarre side chapter of my life that's just kind of been lingering since I was a teenager. So I'll be like, oh damn, this thing's finally over that I've been, I first engaged with forever ago. So that's always a fun feeling, but I have little love for the Cosmic Era.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. We're doing the thing at the door. I do think Siege Freedom is like the actual unpleasant thing is the way they kind of position it as like people are kind of there's the whole fact that Morisawa died and like I can't really go into this. Last time I talked about Morisawa and how she got into writing anime, the person who translated the interview that I was quoting directly got really mad at me and insisting that I had opinions that I didn't have. So it's grim out there, but I just think there's a lot of kind of, it's like, oh, this is kind of in respect of Morisawa's memory, and I'm like, is it now? is it now? Okay. Anyway,
I respect her memory by actually doing the script myself this time.
That's why it took fucking 20 years. Fukuda never work again. He's extremely not working on Grandizer. He's got fake job titles.
Is he napkin guy, or is he just like in the room guy?
Napkin strong. I think he's there. I think he's there, and he's kind of free now. And it'll we'll see.
Free like
I can recognize Fukuda action anywhere instantly. So if I watch Grandizer, I will know. It's interesting. He's the reverse Tomino, right? Where I'm like, I can instantly recognize that I'm watching a Tomino show. It's just obvious. Same with Fukuda. So how much has Fukuda worked on Grandizer? I'll watch it and I'll tell you. Yeah. Good luck with Seed Freedom.
Maybe this is my excuse after I'm done with this to finally experience Cross-Ange.
Yeah,
I will.
I should experience Cross-Ange.
I will experience Cross-Ange in time.
Aside from watching terrible anime, I've been gaming a little bit. I've been playing, and I only spent a couple hours each with both of these, so I don't have too much to say. But have either of you heard of the From Software survival horror game Kuon?
I don't think so.
Hang on.
So
I think so, but I didn't know it was From Software.
Yeah. So it takes place like way back. I actually don't know what period of Japanese history it's pulling from. The Heian period, apparently, which is 794 to 1185. Good to know. Thank you, Wikipedia. But it is about a two women who are going to this haunted as fuck mansion where ghosts have just seemingly murdered everyone. And I believe one of them is like the daughter of the Lord of the Manor, and another one is a seer that they hired to alleviate the problem, if I'm remembering correctly.
I see.
And it seems like a thing where you play through one story to see one perspective, you play the other story to see the other. I don't know if it is doing the thing that a lot of games from this time do, where after you complete both, there's a third, or if it's more like a Resident Evil 2 thing, where it's just,
it's just the two.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It is very much so a game that I think is trying to, like, for one thing, every single time you play a From Software game, you can feel it. I know that there's kind of like this meme or like this thing that people wrote about where every single time anyone goes back and plays old From Software, Armored Core people especially hate this. People can only ever talk about it in comparison to Souls. But part of the reason that happens is because so much of what that studio does and is now famous for, you can just feel in their early shit. Like, this game has the survival horror notes of the impending catastrophe littered throughout it. But the way that the story is delivered feels a little bit more akin to what you'd expect from a modern From Software game than, say, like a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill, even, I would say. And something that I found really interesting about this game, and again, I've only played like an hour and a half, I need to... There's like a few different loose threads of like possible puzzles to solve, and I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go for any of them or what I'm supposed to do, so I'm just like, well, this is... one of those games where I just feel like I need to explore the map, and eventually I'll find something of note. So I'm gonna do that. But, it's a weird game in that you can definitely feel the inspiration from, say, Silent Hill or Resident Evil, but you also have just a meditate button that serves as a free heal that, from what I can tell, there's no consequences, mostly. I had, like, one thing where the camera got a little shaky, and it told me, like... I think when you're in areas of high collected trauma or agony or something like that, you can't use that button to heal. But aside from that, whenever you have a chill moment, you can just heal up back to full, no problem. You, instead of like having a gun or something, you get these spell cards that allow you to summon spirit animals like little like spiders, or like I think you get one that I haven't used yet because you only get two, and it seems to be like a big like screen clear type button, but you summon this like spirit wolf that will like pounce on people and stuff, and then aside from that you also get these like flame arrows that the character can shoot out, and it kind of acts as like your main projectile attack. But yeah, you're just walking around this manor and the grounds around it, and trying to deal with these little ghost imp creatures that are tearing people's throats out, and it's pretty good so far. I know nothing about this game, which is kind of fun. Like, I didn't download or read the manual beforehand. Rare as fuck, I should also say, by the way. Like, even I, the physical game collector enjoyer, I went fuck off with this one because it's like I think like $500 at this point.
Lol.
Not a lot of copies made, and I'm just like, yeah, fuck this. I'm just playing this on PCSX too. But yeah, usually when I do that, I like to download like scans of the manual first, just because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But this one I didn't. And I was just like, I'm just gonna go in, and it's been kind of fun. So.
You pulled a Vati video. You just played it without the manual.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they don't even teach you the controls in this game. From Software, am I right?
I think I've said this off mic, but my favorite Vati video moment is one of my friends got really mad because I believe it was when he was covering Neo. He was like, yeah, I believe this creature is called an Oni, and my friend's like, how the fuck do you not know what an Oni is?
Yes, you have told me about this.
Yeah, it's just whenever I think of Vati video, I think about that.
You heard it here first. Vati poser.
Damn.
You did not hear it here first. Let's be honest.
Then the other game I played is Rabbit and Steel, which is a indie multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have either of you heard of this?
Never.
Heard. Yes. Not played.
Okay. So this is a. Apparently, this studio likes to do.
I've seen why I didn't play it. That's okay. My brain goes to sleep when I see the word roguelike, but it's a bias. It's a bias. I understand.
It's kind of a roguelike. What it honestly is. So it's a. This studio does genre mashups. They made a game I think called Maiden and Spell before this, which is like a PvP shmup. Like fighting game hybrid thing where you're like flying around the screen trying to like bullet hell the other person to death.
Yeah.
They're not the first ones to do that, but anyway.
Yeah.
That That is a very cool collection of words in one place. I do support this idea. Yes.
It's a Senko no Ron colon. But
yeah. I know for a fact, like, when I was at Frosty's, they had it up on the main screen, and I was like, what the fuck is that game? I don't know if it was part of Mystery Game Tournament or they had it as a side tournament. But my friend was like, oh, that's Made in Spell. And I was like, oh, damn, that looks sick. I should check that out later. Never did. But my friends recently, specifically, a lot of my, I have a intersection of shmup and FF14 raiding friends. And this game was made for them because this game is what if MMO raids, but also bullet hell. So in addition to having global cooldown and off global cooldown abilities that you need to do a rotation for, you also have to deal with boss mechanics that require you to move around the screen in specific ways or eat shit while also dodging projectiles. It is a lot to manage.
I have, whenever people talk to me about like the merits of FF14 gameplay, which you've described as being sanded down over time, which is unfortunate, I had always thought about like what if there was a version of this detached from the MMO aspect.
Yeah, and again, I can't speak too much to, like, a lot of the stuff I know about 14 comes from, again, that group of friends who've put in thousands of hours, and I would say mostly do not like how classes have progressed in that game over time into feeling less distinct and more like, oh, this class has to be balanced for its role, and that means taking away some of its more unique abilities or taking away some of the, like, risk-reward stuff in terms of just having something safe for the meta that, like, people won't get mad at you when you pick this class and this, like, serious endgame stuff or whatever sort of thing. This game, definitely, yeah, like, you can tell this was made to deliver that experience of, oh, what if we took the MMORPG part out of, like, the rating, like, tiers and that sort of game loop. Which has been interesting, because I'm not at that stuff myself really in 14 yet. I'm still going through, like, the main story stuff. So it's been interesting engaging with these mechanics that a lot of my other friends are, like, just very familiar with, and even though it's kind of removed from its original genre, and this is like a side-scrolling shmup type of thing, they're like, oh, I know what to do here, and, like, they can read the visual language of it, and I'm struggling, like, oh, what do I do here, sort of thing. And they're like, oh, you get used to it over time. We're having fun with it. We have this weird issue with it where, normal was a cakewalk. We can get through normal fine. Hard, requiring a little bit more group coordination, and we're still learning the ropes in that sometimes the game gives you signifiers for what is about to happen next and how you need to prepare for a mechanic that we're not entirely sure how to, at the very least, read in a way that we don't take at least some damage. But we've been experimenting, and we've definitely made progress. Which is, from what I understand, too, that is what it's like when a new MMO, like, hard and, like, extreme, like, tier drops in, like, a game like 14. A lot of it is trial and error, figuring out, like, what is the game even asking of us? And then you figure out, okay, how do we position ourselves on the screen and work in a rhythm so that we're not fucking each other over and that we can get to where we need to go for the next part of the fight and that sort of thing. So kind of getting into a game that delivers that mentality, that's inspired by a game where I'm not at that place yet, has been kind of interesting and fun and a unique experience for me. And I can't wait to be the one person that, like, when I get to that shit in 14, I'll be like, this is just like Rabbit and Steel. It'll just be a kind of unique perspective, but it's enjoyable. The only thing I would say is I think some of my friends do have some beef with how the markers are illustrated in that game. Just, like, the design maybe lacks some of the visual clarity that they're used to from other games of that type. They say that it gets a little busy in a way that the thing they've always told me is that, like, things like FF14, like, at first glance when you're new, that shit can look really busy and frustrating, but there is a visual language to it that once you start to internalize, it's like, oh, okay, like, anyone who has experience with this gameplay will know what to do in certain situations and be able to read the situation fairly fast. This one, they think that maybe it needs to be a little bit more clear, but they said it's not something they probably couldn't get used to. So I was like, okay, that's good to know. Because that, that's just the sort of criticism I would never fucking be able to grasp at because I don't have the genre experience.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm having a good time with it.
I feel like the transition probably wasn't too hard to 14, just because I imagine there isn't much jumping in 14, so you're still operating on a 2D plane.
Yeah, no, I think when you jump in 14, from what I can tell, it's like for very deliberate reasons. I don't really think you're doing it mid-combat all too much. Someone could correct me if I'm wrong, but
I remember it being a thing in certain. I think I remember there was a Monster Hunter collab that had a jump, and then also obviously the Dragoon would have that, but
Yeah. I do know there's a platforming challenge area in that game that some people do get married for, because when you get married, you get a ring that lets you teleport to your partner. So some people get married, have the person who's good at the jump puzzle do the jump puzzle, and then teleport to the end.
One of the best bits of Sword Art Online is when they make a murder mystery plot out of the marriage mechanic in the game.
That sounds fun. Holy shit.
That is one of the few times where I'm like, SAO is alright.
Sometimes they have it.
I watched 12 episodes back in the day, and I was like, what the fuck? And now I'm done.
I watched 24. Unfortunately.
I watched 2 seasons, so I saw the this is not a spoiler. Do not watch SAO. I saw the AIDS arc. It's
no.
Oh yeah.
This is not a joke.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I know it's real.
That's a thing. That's a real thing. Sword Art Online's strange. No need to subject yourself to Sword Art Online. You can get.
Actually, I've seen passages from the chapter that should have remained unreleased.
Oh yeah. Of course, natural.
Yeah, I mean that's just on the internet. Everyone's posting that shit.
Rite of passage.
Yeah, 16
Jesus
years.
Christ. Yep.
Yeah, natural.
Not great. But yeah, that was my week. I've been gaming and watching mid anime, and by mid I mean bottom of the floor. I would not call Seed mid. It's lower than that.
Yeah, Mal, what you been up to?
Hey, I am here with some stuff.
Shoot,
that was a transition.
Yeah,
I like some stuff.
Yeah,
you've heard of From Software. Get ready for some stuff.
Some software.
Some software.
Okay, so I got 3 things, but 2 of them was 2 in 1.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the quicker one first. Yesterday I watched a 1962 Daihei quote-unquote kaiju movie called The Whale God.
So,
that sounds sick.
You say?
Well, it's I guess operating in the kaiju space, but at the end of the day, it's kind of just a whale movie. So,
I see.
The degree to which I guess a whale is just a kaiju makes it count.
They're the closest we have.
Yeah.
If you commit hard enough, then yeah.
Apparently, this one just recently got an English release for the first time this year. And gonna be honest, this is a weird one.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically about especially this whaling village where this whale has been plaguing them for years and just doesn't seem to die, and a lot of their whalers die trying to kill it, including the protagonist, who's this guy whose grandpa, father, and older brother all died to the whale, and he's like, well, now I have to kill this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken, the movie's based on a novel that was very based off of Moby Dick, so
I was about to say, right. This sounds familiar.
And so the village chief is like, alright, whoever kills the whale will get my daughter's hand in marriage and also all of my property.
Damn.
Because he's just like, yeah, I want to fuck this guy, fuck this whale, he needs to fucking die. And the protagonist is like, I don't want anything, I just want the whale. dead. And you know, there's just like this vagabond asshole comes by as like her the deuteragonist / antagonist who's like, oh, I want all that stuff, so I guess I'll kill the whale too. And then the first like it's like an hour and 40, and like the whale hunt doesn't happen until like the last half hour or so, or 20 minutes or so of the movie. And so it's like a lot of like in the months leading up to the whale coming back and whaling season starting, and like this sort of like human drama happening. That's where I feel like there's some weird shit in this movie, where like the antagonist brute guy does like a sexual violence to the protagonist's love interest, who he's like, I'm not going to marry you because I need to kill the whale. But then she gets pregnant, and then he's like, well, I'll claim the son as my own and say we're married just to like for cover. But that creates problems because the person who's the head, who's supposed to kill the whale, is supposed to marry the chief's daughter. Stuff, and just sort of like, I don't know what they're doing here.
I see.
And I think like I was listening to like because I didn't really have my thoughts sorted out. I tried to look over reviews, and like that's why I was listening to a kaiju podcast earlier. And I think it's more acceptable to me when it's like, damn, these people just suck, and the whale's just vibing. If you just take it's like, yeah, that's just a whale, and everyone else is just being ridiculous and obsessive. Because I think that is one of the things in the movie, is just like the self-destructiveness of the obsession, which I think is like,
that's that Moby Dick shit.
Yeah, now I haven't read Moby Dick, but I'm pretty sure that's like a, you know, what Moby Dick's about.
Mm-hmm.
And it does feel like, at least the protagonist point of view, by the end of the movie, the villain guy redeems himself, ? But that's also just his point of view. I think the women in this movie are treated terribly. The chief's daughter is like, damn, I don't want to be pawned off to some whaler guy just because they won. And meanwhile, her dad's like, don't worry, they're gonna die. It's fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's just a weird one, but like the special effects of the whale are pretty cool. The part where they're killing the whale at the end is pretty fucking brutal. Just like hanging on to dear life onto the whale while hacking away at it and blood splatting out. Apparently they made like both Ryosaku Takayama, our guy, made an 18-foot miniature. And then also they had a full-on life-size model they were using for some scenes, and then so kind of intense on that front.
What happened to the life-size whale model?
Good question.
Who has it?
Who has that? Probably not Daiei, because it went bankrupt and got bought out by Katakawa at some point. But
Brad's about to make it his life mission to track down this whale.
God help me.
Yeah, actually, let me look at a photo of the, at least from the movie. Like, it's a fucking, I feel like, I don't know if it's just like the special effects or just like the model, but like, here's like a image of the whale. It's like one of the weirdest part. Well, here's the whale. It's a black and white movie, by the way.
This looks like a Nausicaa alien.
Yeah, there's some weird shit where like it shows you. Sometimes you see like the front facing bit of the whale, and it's like got his mouth open. I'm like, I don't think that's a whale supposed to look, but you know.
Wait, yeah. So is that thing on the left supposed to be the? This does not look like a whale.
It definitely looks like a really fucked up whale.
This is the shit from Nausicaa. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put fucking the lynch worm riding music with the guitar over this.
Yeah. It's also interesting because it's like a period piece as well. Like it doesn't really say when it's set, but it's like clearly feudal era. Even though like one guy's like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this whale shit. I'm gonna go become a doctor in Nagasaki. And also for whatever reason, the village has like a white guy priest, and they all seem to be Christian. I don't know what's up with that.
Stuff.
It's a very bizarre movie. The movie ends with basically the reveal question mark. Maybe it's just like a themes thing rather than a literal thing about that the whale might just be like Sin from Final Fantasy X. Whatever. It's weird. I think it's interesting. It's probably worth a watch, but I don't think I'd rate it.
This is called The Whale God, right?
Yeah, I think the Japanese name is Kujira Gami.
Okay.
I think I've seen like some other translations also call it Killer Whale, but Whale God's the one that's mostly used. But yeah, it's something. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I say it. It's like great, but it's. I think it probably leans more average to good, but it's got questionable things. I think it's worth a watch if you're like curious. Not like I must go see it if I'm a kaiju watcher, but like if you're like already interested in the genre, then maybe if you're curious, you check it out. Or if you like samurai movie, I guess. But yeah, that was
it's a cool looking fake whale.
Yeah. I don't like that front view shot, so I'm gonna delete that. I don't want to look at that.
Is it just bothering you to look at?
Yes.
Kinda had like Eraserhead baby vibes a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Ryosako Takayama was like, I found this whale.
I found this whale prop.
Yeah.
And Toru Naruto's like, oh, this is my guy. He's gonna design the kaiju I like. And he sees the color timer. He's like, what the fuck? Flip the trade.
Time for me to just look at images of the Eraserhead baby. What a cute little guy.
I'll never forget the time I got upset at a tabletop RPG and I said this game's gameplay is the equivalent of having to watch the Eraserhead baby. Which I think is the meanest form of criticism I've ever delivered onto something.
I think the worst criticism I had is like I once tried to play because I was curious. I digged around with like the Battle Arena Toshin in games for about 5 minutes on an emulator. And I was like, the game feel of this game feels like if I wanted to throw up.
I bought the first one of those at Combo Breaker, and I never dicked around with it. I've not heard amazing things.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, this tangent indicates we're done with the whale.
Yeah.
Yes.
What else you been up to?
Okay, so Shell by Drono finished. Earthsea. I thought Other Wind was pretty good. I don't really have much to say on it, but now I have room on my schedule for other shit. And so what I did this past week was I listened to the audiobook for let me check the date. The 1961 science fiction novel Solaris, and then also watched the 1972 film based on that book.
I'm gonna be real, I never knew it was a book.
And that was an interesting dichotomy, because if you know anything about the movie and know about the book, you'll find out pretty quickly that the author doesn't like the movie.
Oh.
I see.
Now, is it author doesn't like the movie, yes, go off author, or is it, what the fuck are you talking about, author?
I think it's I see where you're coming from, but also, come on.
Okay.
Okay, so, I'm gonna start off and say the movie, I think, for the most part, follows the plot beats of the book closely, so I can just roll most of the discussion on that front into one. The book's mostly about, like, in the future, space is happening. And...
Damn, for real?
Yeah, for real. For decades, scientists, they've been trying to figure out this one planet called Solaris, which is like an ocean planet where the ocean seems to be part of the planet, and the planet/ocean might be alive. Into the other space station that's trying to, like, there's a huge field of study called Solaricistics or whatever, or Solaricists, where they're like trying to figure out what the fuck is up with this ocean planet.
Mm-hmm.
And they've had like scientists there, and it's just kind of gotten like should have happened. People have kind of like lost interest. It seems futile, and so we basically have the protagonist, who's like a psychologist, I think, called Chris Kelvin, heading to the space station to meet up with 3 other guys, his friend Gavarian, and then some other guys called Snout and what the fuck is that their name?
How much does he matter?
Sartorius. I guess they both kind of matter because like there's only like 3 characters in the movie or book.
Okay.
Basically, gets there, he finds out Gavarian died by suicide.
Oh,
and
okay.
Everything's kind of a mess.
Okay. What if I one day want to read this book?
This is first few pages.
Okay.
Right. This is like premise establishing.
Okay.
I haven't gotten to the meat of the. I'm just like saying.
That's all right.
He's got there and like he gets there and it's like not only is his friend like dead, but the other 2 guys are extremely like paranoid and unsettled and keeping themselves. And there's this weird shit happening, and by weird shit I mean Silent Hill shit is happening. Because like everyone is sort of like experiencing quote unquote visitors, which seem to be like physical manifestations of people in their past lives and their internal traumas.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where I think the movie and the book kind of diverge a bit. Because, like, movie's definitely the hard sci-fi, and so there's obviously psychological shit happening with the Silent Hill stuff. But the book is definitely taking a hard sci-fi stance, where it's like,
okay,
a lot of the figuring out what the shit's up with this weird ghost people or whatever.
Is it much
He's
more
like,
mechanical?
Yeah, trying to figure out like the mechanics and like how this goes into this greater mystery of the planet. Which and like there's a lot of tangents on like the history of like the understanding of the planet and like sort of like contradictions and stuff like that. And physical descriptions of phenomena that happen on the planet's surface. And it clearly foregrounds like it creates, I guess, like a kind of cosmic horror feel of like the unknowable thing that this weird ocean planet is like, but also clearly like going for the hard sci-fi round of like what is up with this shit. And it seems like the thesis of like the book is more like, can humans actually understand anything truly alien? Like, do we just lack the ability or desire? So it's coming from that angle. Meanwhile, Tarkovsky, the director for the movie, decided to go really hard in on the psychological stuff. So you don't get as much shots of the... You only get a few shots here and there of the planet, though I think the effects are pretty good. But it's clearly more like go zeroing in on the fact that it's like a character study of the protagonist.
Right.
And like what's going on. Because his thing is like he's being visited by his like former wife or a manifestation of her and dealing with like his feelings through that. And like the novel author who decides is like, damn, you just played Crime and Punishment in space, you didn't make my book. What the fuck?
Sometimes you gotta make Crime and Punishment is better. Listen.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I get, you know. Unfortunately, it happened. It had to happen to your book.
Yeah. Lots of like lingering shots. There's definitely an oppressive atmosphere in both, and I think the movie does a good job capturing that from the book. The space station looks pretty cool. Just I don't know. I think it's really well done. It's a very slow movie. Like 2 hours and 40 minutes.
That's you said it was Tarkovsky, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That tracks.
I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I obviously don't want to go too much into it because I think it's worth watching, but it's just like, you know, a lot of the sci-fi stuff is like not in the foreground as much. They just talk about like, oh yeah, this scientific phenomenon. They discuss like some of the theories really quick. They kind of brush over it. Yeah. It's more focused on like what this guy's feeling. And also, I'd say like the endings are also pretty different. Like tonally wise, the ending of the book is like feels a bit more open ended and like gesturing the question of how much we can know still, without really like doing much. Whereas like the ending of the movie is a lot more impactful in terms of like emotional gut punch, haunting, lingering last shot, and it's just like, oh, that's what you did. And it's just like, it's really well done, I think. I guess, shocker, it is Tarkovsky movie. People probably expect that from him. But yeah, it gives like, I think it's like it's the first movie by him I saw, admittedly, but
Stalker good. Stalker good.
That's my thing is I've had this on my Blu-ray shelf forever now, and I've always heard it makes a really mean double feature with Stalker. I like Stalker a lot, so
well, yeah. Part of the reason was this.
I should watch this.
Like I heard about the book in like a sci-fi podcast, like a month ago, and then the movie came up, where I talked about contemporaries of Ultraman Ace, like a month ago as well. And so I was like, I should get to that. Also, I need to get to Stalker because I like Roadside Picnic, so I do want to go to Stalker next now I've done this. I just figured, well, this one came first, so I may as well.
I should really go back and like start reading some classic sci-fi, because like the
same
the thing about like the instinct to go like, oh, I want to read like the big fantasy novels, right? Is those are fucking doorstops in a way that the sci-fi authors are not embarrassed about making like a 200-page book.
Yeah, like Solaris is 200 pages.
Red be like, I want to go, I should really go back read some classic sci-fi next week. So I read a 40K novel.
That's not the kind of... Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah.
No.
Le Guin coming to fantasy and writing like 150-page novels is just like so welcome.
Yeah, Solaris and Earthsea are brisk. Not like the other audiobook I've docked at the moment, but more of that eventually.
I'm on the threshold. Oh yeah, what was that?
Oh, I just said, I repeated what you said. More of that eventually. That's all I did.
I'm on the threshold of having my second Harlan Ellison phase of my life, and let me tell you, the children, and by the children I mean me, yearn for the short story collection. They're so nice. You just get in and out.
Do you know about... I've referenced Garth Marenghi. I might have referenced Garth Marenghi on this podcast specifically because Harlan Ellison was brought up. It was because of Scotland. Yes.
That name sounds familiar.
Garth Marenghi's a whole thing. He's a fictional character.
Oh, it's the Dark Place thing.
Yeah. Yes, he just looks like Harlan Ellison. is the joke. It's pretty funny.
Did you tell me to watch Dark Place? I don't remember.
I will have strongly recommended that people watch Dark Place. Yes, Dark Place is fantastic.
I'll maybe attempt to get to this.
But I think one interesting line that gets dropped in the movie, I forget if it was something similar was in the book, was just like, mankind doesn't want to really explore the cosmos and the unknown. It just wants like the familiar out there, like an expansion of Earth out there in the mirror, rather than like...
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's I like that idea
just
a lot. That's very solid criticism.
He doesn't know what to do with like the truly incomprehensible, which is like, what Solaris is.
That's honestly, that's sick. Yeah.
Also, it's also nice to sometimes get a reminder of more obscure things that you like are often influenced by bigger, more influential things. Because like there's a sci-fi work I like for a long time called Expedition. It's by the creature painter / artist Wayne Barlow, and it's basically like, this is a book where I paint weird aliens and I come up with a framing device to give me an excuse to draw aliens. Where it's like I invented this alien world where it's...
Wait, is that like paints really cool pictures of demons in hell, Wayne Barlow?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy's art.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was a writer.
Well, he did. The expedition is basically like the humans and this other brotherly race are going to do an expedition to a planet that's like untouched by anyone because there's no civilization there. And they're basically just like they're basically just doing like a naturalist expedition, and so the book is framed as like a nature journal through the perspective of like the wildlife artists they got, and so that's an excuse for why all the paintings are there, and it's cool. But on that planet, there's like the only big body of water is this really big sea covered with like a jelly thing that traps all the moisture, and that's kind of similar to Solaris. It's like, oh, now that I'm in Solaris, I understand. It's like drawing from that a bit, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Barlow created this, which I think is maybe my favorite piece of fantasy art of all time.
Yeah, Let me show you one of the pictures of like from Expedition, just because like, he does good alien stuff. I'd actually recommend checking out Expedition, which weirdly enough got like a Discovery Channel adaptation.
What?
Yeah, in 2005 it had one called Alien Planet that was like based off of Expedition.
Oh, huh. I never. Okay.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
Here's like a painting of like one of like this really weird mollusk aliens walking across like the aforementioned gel sea. It's cool.
Damn.
He's
Yeah.
really-
Now that I know this guy writes, I need to check out his shit.
Yeah, check out Expedition if you did. It's a book I like a lot. But yeah, Solaris was pretty cool. I think the movie fucking rips. And you should check out the book because it's short, and then check out the movie because it's really good.
Because Tarkovsky Solaris.
Yeah,
I should get back to rereading Roadside Picnic and then watch Stalker again.
Yeah, I'm going to. I think I read Roadside Picnic like 2 years ago, so I'm not in like a rush to reread it, but I'll check out Stalker soon.
I need to play those games at some point in my life. I'm sure I'd like them, but
It does sound
I've got
like,
the first one downloaded right now.
from my impression, it does sound like Stalker takes a lot more creative liberties with the premise of Roadside Picnic than even Solaris does.
oh yeah, yeah.
I also watched some highbrow sci-fi this week. Because on Friday I went to go see The Phantom Menace at cinemas.
Oh, okay.
That was the first time. That was the first movie I ever saw in the theater.
Hey, snap! Same.
The
Exactly the
first
same.
movie
I was 4 years old.
the first movie I saw in theaters was The Prince of Egypt, but I was like 4 and with my class, and I was like, I don't like this, and so I spent half the movie outside the theater with the teacher.
You know,
Damn.
I think you've told this story before. I
might have.
remember that. I remember that.
I may have told it when we were doing Tales of the Abyss. I don't know if we did in the podcast.
Yeah. That's familiar.
Damn. So yeah.
How was The Phantom Menace, Red?
That's a good movie. That's it.
No notes?
I'm not gonna. I don't have to fucking justify myself. I went through my life. I learned to hate the Phantom Menace, and now I like it again. Fuck you.
This is so. Red, did you see the Phantom Menace when they were doing the 3D?
No, no, I did not.
Okay.
This is the I watched the Phantom Menace a lot when I was a kid, and then as I became a like self-conscious teenager, I learned that it was embarrassing to like the prequels, and so I learned to hate them. And I did earnestly hate them. I thought, oh, this is fucking stupid. I cringed when I watched them, all of that. And now I've come out the other side, and I like them. Now here's the thing. Here's how I know it's not nostalgia. Is the same hasn't happened for Attack of the Clones. That ain't fucking happening.
Okay, I was about to have some concerns.
That ain't fucking happening. I think Attack of the Clones is very funny to think about, just in terms of like trying to. I remember a long walk with the dogs where me and my dad tried to piece together the noir plot that George forgot to put in the movie. That was very entertaining. But yes, otherwise, Attack of the Clones, no, nostalgia has not. hit for that one, so I know it's not Greek philosopher voice. Therefore, it can't be nostalgia that I'm feeling for Phantom Menace.
I haven't really listened to A More Civilized Age all that much because again, I find it hard to get through those cartoons, and I'm not chopping at the bit to get to them.
I might just bite the bullet and listen to it without watching.
Yeah, that's as much as we make fun of our audience that does that for doing that for our show, I think it's an acceptable way to experience podcasts like this. But you should also still watch Ultra Q and Ultraman and so on. But I do recommend their prequel podcasts. I think they're good fun. And I really, in particular, like their Attack of the Clones one. But of note, it feels like everyone, everyone involved in the process of crafting the romance that is central to that movie is too old and too far removed from what teenage love is like, and trying to fit it within space opera is just it's not doing it any favors, and it's just it's alien and weird and creepy and bad.
Here's the thing. Padme as deviant is such a fantastic addition to Star Wars. Just this absolute fucking disgusting creep woman who's like, oh, this little boy, get the fuck away. And obviously the Attack of the Clones is like some reversal on that with like Anakin being a weird creep, but also anyway, Padme's gross. It's very fun. It is hilarious how much the weird look she gives to tiny boy Anakin at the end of Phantom Menace. The look she gives, absolutely bizarre. George, what were you cooking?
I never finished Phantom Menace movie I had fond memories of. Again, first time going to the theater, which honestly happened kind of late for me. Was Phantom Menace 99?
Yes.
It was summer of 99. So I would have been 5, turning 6 that fall. And I remember also too, I was an anxious child to hell and back, so they probably maybe waited a bit longer. But it was my first time going to the theater, and I remember just being blown the fuck away, and all throughout my childhood loved that movie. When they did the 3D re-releases, which they only did Phantom Menace, by the way, for anyone who isn't aware. They were like, we're gonna do all 6, and then only Phantom Menace came out. This was during the big 3D movie boom of the early 2010s, which thankfully fucking ended, Jesus Christ. But they put out Phantom Menace again. Me and my friends were like, oh fuck yeah, let's go see Phantom Menace. And I was vaguely aware. I was online at this point, but I wasn't really looking at movie discussion online. I was turbo into the RPG and anime fandom camps or whatever the fuck. Just looking at video game discussion boards and shit. So I was aware that there were people that didn't like the newer Star Wars movies that I had grown up with. But I had always been it's just old nerds being mad that's not the same as the shit they grew up with or whatever. And then me and my friends walked out of Phantom Menace 3D and we're just all like, oh, we did not have a good time.
You did not understand George's vision. I see it. It's a perfect movie.
I'm gonna be honest. I still don't think I see the vision. But
you're allowed.
The one that I have gone back on, I'm like, I do actually think that there's legitimate merit to this one. There's stuff here that's cooking that I like a lot. Is Revenge of the Sith. I do feel is where. Mm-hmm. A lot of that stuff does crystallize into view of this is what you were trying to do with your epic fall.
That is the best one. However, Phantom Menace has the air of a dramatization of a real event. It's where it's this bizarre. It's there's no protagonist. It's just there's too many moving pieces, and you've tried to draw it into a narrative.
And there's increasingly bigger fishes.
and there's increasingly bigger fishes. Alternatively, it's got like, epic mythic stuff going on. But I just the whole final battle cutting between like 4 different things, and I understand for this is in normal movies you don't do what George Lucas is doing. You don't do this. You don't like constantly cut between these 4 different tones and everything, and never let anything just lie and like just go. However, I don't know why. I just like it now. I just think it's really sick. I don't know if it's I want to say it's because I got Tomino pilled and I can cope with the wildest pacing now. But I think Phantom Menace is good. It's good. I enjoy its vision of diplomacy, where it's like, well, we invade and then we make her sign a treaty. And I'm like, that's what treaties are. Yes, correct. Yeah. Well done, George. Not everyone understands this.
Yeah, I do think the political stuff in those movies is honestly, like, especially for the time, considering what else was made around it, actually pretty good and on point. I do think it unfortunately has this, like, a lot of people watch that shit and just tune that shit out.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate, because like that's where a lot of the good meat is.
I remember when I was a kid seeing a Simpsons episode where like they made fun of it, where they're like, Bart was bored watching just everyone at the Senate for like 3 hours.
The
truly astonishing thing rewatching Phantom Menace, knowing that everyone hates it because of there's too much politics and everything, is how little time the movie spends on anything in the Senate. it's like it's clearly for children. It's for I mean, obviously it doesn't work because I was a child and I didn't understand, but it's the most dumbed down version you can get. It's like it's holding your hand so much, and it's just like the idea that the mass audience of 1999 thought, oh, this is so complicated. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you talking about? It explains the plot to you step by step. Now, all of this is irrelevant, because the best part of going to see Phantom Menace in the cinema, this is what I'm ending on, is I was sat next to a guy who was sat next to his girlfriend. And when he was explaining the plot to her, and when R2-D2 turned up on screen, he leaned in and that's chappied him. He went, that's R2-D2.
Let's go!
I was so happy.
Oh, what an asshole.
It was so good. Literally, I heard, that's R2-D2. I was trying my best not to laugh.
Why?
Fantastic.
Yeah, the last thing I was gonna say is, like, I when I think about that movie too, it's like, well, part of it too is growing up in the zeitgeist. Like, we were that generation, right? But like, fucking Darth Maul was in Tony Hawk, and I was like, yeah, that's cool as shit,
yeah.
Dude. I have so many weird associations and memories of like Phantom Menace in particular and its iconography, and I do think that's a testament to its visual design. Like, I still think droidicas are so fucking cool, you don't understand. Yeah. One of the big presents I remember getting as like a kid was like I had like learned how to swim. I had learned how to swim, but had somehow failed my swimming lessons because the person running it was kind of an asshole. And my parents were like, oh, well, we got you this N64. I mean, it was more for the family than just for me, to celebrate. But here you go, kid. And I was so hyped. And it was the one that came with Star Wars Episode 1 Pod Racer.
Yes.
And the first car accident I was ever in was when my mother was getting my birthday cake for me. And it had a little Darth Maul action figure on it. and then when we were pulling out of the parking lot, someone else had like it was one of those things where it's like it really wasn't anyone's fault, but like just two people pulling out of the parking lot at the same time, rear-ended. That Darth Maul figure face planted into the cake, and there was just a Darth Maul indent in my cake that year.
Nice.
And I had that figure for a long time.
Yeah.
Fond memories of the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm as warm on it as you are, but I appreciate and respect your love of the Naboo and Tatooine saga.
I was never.
It's a good movie. Oh, go ahead, Mel.
I was never a Star Wars kid, so I think the first Star Wars movie I saw was Revenge of the Sith in the theaters.
Nice. That's a hell of an entry point.
I remember that lizard. I don't remember much else.
Nice.
It's the most quotable. I could like line for line do that movie. Which is fucked up.
Phantom Menace also has. Oh, go ahead.
I think that's the only time I've seen Revenge of the Sith too.
Phantom Menace also a very, very, very quotable movie. Half of them.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Yeah, half of them can't. Half of them can't really go all in on because it is just racist.
Yeah.
But it's like half of the Nemoidian dialogue has become memes, and it's just like can't do the voice, can't do that.
Yep.
No, don't do that. But yeah, it was I just had a great time. I just like completely without a hint of irony. I was like, oh, this is good. I like it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to claim that on a podcast that's going out to the public.
I'm happy for you. No, you need to lean into this with your whole chest.
Some people have claimed lots of things on podcasts they shouldn't, like their particular favorite episodes of Ultraman.
Yeah. Skydon. That's mine. It's good. Jamila also good, but it's not as funny.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I should just have doubled down on becoming the Totola guy. Just every episode, like, it's no Totola.
Well, speaking of things that don't have Totola in, we can move on to Ultraman Ace. We got 3 more episodes, beginning with episode 10, titled Duel, Ultraman Ace versus Hideki Go.
Yeah.
This is a little misleading.
It is.
You mean like the title Return of Ultraman?
Shut up, yeah. we were tricked. We were fooled.
They knew what they were doing.
We got Venom Go.
Venom Go. Hell yeah. Rhino, Choju, Zygon is attacking, and some familiar faces are in danger. Rumiko and Jiro are here, and while the crew deploys to fight the Choju, Hokuto volunteers to use the brand new special weapon to save these 2 civilians.
You know what's fucked up?
Yeah.
Is that we are so close to Return of Ultraman that when those 2 first showed up, my thought wasn't, oh, hey, it's those 2. It's, oh, yeah, I watched another episode of an Ultra thing.
Yeah.
It's just like,
you could have waited a little.
Yeah.
You know what's more fucked up?
Mm-hmm.
The way Jiro's eating the ice cream cone.
Yeah, so it's got
It's weird.
Speaking of Darth Maul, let's talk about this ice cream. What's going on, Jiro?
Maybe the nuclear family people are right. You need a male role model in your life, Jiro. What's going on?
They got 2
Yeah.
cones, and they eat in the middle. What's up? What's going on here?
Was this a thing in Japan at the time? Was this a thing anywhere at the time? I don't know. Presumably,
I think this kid's just that boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right. That's why Hideki going off to the nebula, like, sometimes maybe the kid has bad vibes. It's just unpleasant to be around.
Hideki goes like, I can't save him, so I'm gonna save the rest of the galaxy.
Yeah. Okay. Hokuto's shot on Zygon is blocked, however, by the appearance of a man in black. A very tall man in black, with his own special gun, the Ultra Laser. He shoots Zygon, and the Choju vanishes. Who is this mysterious stranger? It's Hideki Go. It's not Hideki Go. Jiro and Rumiko are delighted to see him, and most of TAC is eager to hire him as a member, given he's ex-MAT, and he can contribute such excellent weapons technology. Hokuto is reluctant for jealousy reasons, and the captain is reluctant for real, actual reasons like Hideki Go was reported dead. Something needs investigating. Hokuto, Jiro, and Rumiko all visit Go in the hospital, where he is recovering from an injury he received in the earlier battle. When Go is offered his favorite snack, he eats them by stabbing his chopsticks through them, instead of, using them like chopsticks. Suddenly, Zygon appears again.
Also, I think Jiro points out that this Go seems left-handed instead of right-handed.
Oh yes, that does happen. He's sinister. There you go. Fun Latin humor for you.
Yeah, my grandma, one of her like old stories of being like, my grandma was a fairly religious woman, but the one crack in that was she did extremely get shit as a child for attempting to write with her left hand, for religious reasons, and she was always like, I don't think that was right of them. She was right. Go off, Grandma. Rest in peace.
Zygon appears again. Suddenly, Zygon appears again and attacks. Go leaps into action, and in doing so, locks Jiro and Rumiko in his hospital room. Very strange. Hokuto returns to the room, finds it locked, and tries to rescue Jiro and Rumiko, but is stopped by Go. Go isn't Go at all, but alien Antira in disguise. Is it Antira?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. He flees to the roof, and Jiro really doesn't want to believe this story when Hokuto frees him. Jiro runs after Go, and Hokuto and Minami follow. On the roof, fake Go takes Jiro hostage. Jiro successfully escapes by biting Antira's hand. Antira unsuccessfully escapes by leaping out of the way of Hokuto and Minami's gunfire, and then not leaping out of the way of the follow-up barrage and fucking exploding. The fire on the roof intensifies, and Hokuto and Minami transform to save Jiro. They put him down and then fight Zygon. How? Bullfighting, of course. The show plays the tune from Carmen and everything. Ace pulls a little red... Oh, before I go... I would just like to... over, like, Christmas, or, like, New Year's or something... for some reason, my family had put on like YouTube like movie music quizzes, and this then transitioned into video game quiz, and it was basically just me against my sister's boyfriend, and I really objected when they played this tune and claimed it was from Five Nights at Freddy's, and I was like, no, it's from an opera. What are you talking about? And this is when I discovered that there are loads of people who only know this from Five Nights at Freddy's, and I'm livid. I'm livid about this. It's a very famous piece.
I haven't seen any operas, so
I have not seen the Carmen opera, and yet, anyway, that's my small pro opera rant over. I don't even know if Carmen is good, but I know that. Anyway, Ace pulls a little
Moonlight Sonata, that song from Resident Evil 1.
Yes. The point is, there's bullfighting in Carmen. Ace pulls a little red flag, and with every pass, it grows until it's a proper like matador size, and then decapitates Zygon and uses the head to make a little grave for it. I guess not actually little. Very big. Terribly big. Later, Jiro and Rumiko are hanging out, and Jiro yells the 5 Ultra Oaths to the Hideki Go in the sky. But this time, they switch the order to place the power one last, which I think is a mild downgrade. The end.
I didn't really care for this one, I don't think.
I think it was goofy. I had fun with
it. It was goofy. I had fun. I think, maybe I'm between you two, because I am sort of like, I wanted actual Go. I wanted like the actual rivalry between Go and Hokuto. I think that would have been fun.
Now that being said, I do enjoy that. Like, I feel like part of this maybe was like I would not be surprised if Jiro Dan was like, "Can I be a bad guy, just just for fun,
he gets to
sort of
have
thing."
fun.
Which he I love his performance in this. I think he's doing great. But yeah, I do not care for. I feel like they could have gone further with it almost in a way, because it ends up just kind of being standard like alien like imposter plot sort of thing. And I think there was maybe a little bit more wiggle room to do something cool here. But I don't know. It was just kind of whatever for me.
I like fake Dan having a big gun. No, fuck. I get confused, but his name is Jiro Dan. I hate this.
And we have an actual Dan and a Jiro.
Fake Go with a gun. Pretty fun.
Him turning up like we're going Star Wars again. Luke in Return of the Jedi, just all in black.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. I briefly thought this episode was going to be way wilder than it wound up being because of how standoffish Go was with Jiro and him, and I was kind of like, oh, are we leaning into the fact that he's merged with Ultraman and he's not really the same anymore? But no, he's fake. He's fake Go. He's fake Go. He's alien Antira. He's a villain. We could have played more with like the maybe the jealous. The thing is, we've got like two. First of all, we brought back Go, so we have to bring back Jiro and Rumiko, which means we have to make some of the episode about Jiro, and so we can't go all in on the Hokuto's like jealousy, really. But
yeah,
I really like the bullfighting. The bullfighting Choju fight. I think that's cool.
We don't get Jiro's misogyny towards Minami, which is probably for the best.
No, but we get another kind of misogyny. Let me go to the Ultraman, the Ultra Wiki, which refers to the plot. This episode has a full summary on the wiki. However, in what is a very funny move, the wiki refers to Rumiko as Jiro, Jiro and his caretaker.
Let's go.
Which is truly in line with Ultraman.
Yeah.
Poor Rumiko. It sucks to be Rumiko. Life ruined. Guy rocks up, drops child in your lap, and goes, "Hey, bye." We kind of knew each other for like 10 weeks.
I had like one more point about this episode, and I do not remember for the life of me what it was. Oh well. It'll probably come to me at some point.
I'm trying to think of what is in here. I mean, for now, hit us with some production stuff.
There's one more
go
thought.
ahead.
I like the shot of Go in the sky because it reminded me of like the 2 times in the first like batch or so of Return of Ultraman where they did the same thing for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, they did. Yeah, they did do that. That was God, that's yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I remember before I did the medical miracle counter, I was like, could this Go in the sky be a counter? And it didn't turn out that way.
No, not quite.
But I will say I did make one at the time, and I never used it.
Damn.
Are
you deploying it now?
Oh.
I don't think I have it on. Do I have it even? Give me a second.
I'll give you a sec. Brad, you were about to say something?
Yeah, it was, they referenced Matt. That was it. It's just,
yes,
we finally have one team recognizing the existence of a prior team that does the exact same thing.
Yes.
Which I was like, oh yeah, of course we finally get that now that they're crossing over.
So they describe Go as an ex-Matt member, and
yeah,
they don't say anything about what's up with Matt. They don't make any remark about like, oh, Matt, the X, the thing that doesn't exist anymore, or whatever. So maybe.
I never got to use it, but there it is.
Thank you. I might use it just for this one.
Okay, good.
It's a good
the counter will be 3, by the way.
The counter will be 3. Okay. But yeah, we don't get like any breakdown on like, you know, is Matt up to anything right now? Is Matt doing anything? Is Matt still around? Are there simultaneously kaiju that have to be dealt with? Is it their fault that Marucci wound up on the battlefield?
This is the shit I want out of these shows now.
Do they have to we get some of that in episode 11, except it's like, you know, with Tak and an actual detective. But
oh yeah.
It would be funny to have Matt Tak jurisdiction.
Well, it's like, well, this is a terrible monster, but it went into our jurisdiction.
God,
there's all sort of paperwork.
Yeah.
And then what is it? The TDF from 7?
Yeah.
They have to deal with the aliens, and like if the alien has a kaiju, it's just a shit show.
We get something like a Spider-Man Homecoming where like Matt wants to clean up the kaiju stuff, but then Tak comes in, and so Kushida becomes Raven or something.
If the 3 of us got to write an Ultraman movie, this is the shit that would. This is the bureaucratic shit that we would.
And
we would get into the weeds of.
It's the kind of shit that Ide would be taking advantage of.
Yes.
As he deploys a kaiju that defies categorization between all 3. And his fundamental question,
while wearing another team's uniform.
Yes.
As part of a false flag.
He wears a Scarred uniform, and everyone's like, what's Scarred?
Ide looked great in that bright blue.
Damn.
It's more cyan, if you think about it.
It is.
Who made this episode?
Who made this episode? Our friend Eizo Yamagiwa.
Well done.
And then written by Shigemitsu Taguchi.
Thank you. Mal, what's up with this episode?
Maybe there's more trivia of the episode itself somewhere, but for now, all I got is the special effects director is Yoshio Tabuchi, and then the kaiju are both by Iguchi.
Nice. Sick. Do we have anything more to say about this episode?
No. It could have been like. I guess I'm happy that they didn't just do like, oh, you know, Ultraman back and help save the day sort of thing like they kind of did. Like, I think it would have been too much too fast if they had done the same type of crossover. But I do also kind of wish we just got real Hideki Go to some extent. Beyond just you know, what we get. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, goodbye once again, Hideki Go. Goodbye, Jiro. And goodbye, Jiro's caretaker. As we move on to episode 11.
Terrible monster is 10 women?
Uber driver sucked me off? What an incredible title for an episode of television. Just the question mark. Terrible monsters 10 was fantastic. Featuring Kunoichi Choju Unitang. The Choju Unitang. The Choju Unitang attacks and destroys a TAC radar station. Investigating the aftermath, Yamanaka and the one guy we don't know yet encounters a women's cycling club. The leader acts horrified by the news of a Choju attacked, and the crew lets them go on their way. Yamanaka scolds the guy we don't know for checking them out as they go. Elsewhere, Hokuto and Minami fuck up. They're supposed to take an essential part to a radar station, but the route is marked as under repair, and on their alternate route, the car collides with the lead cyclist from the club. While Hokuto and Minami check on the cyclist, someone steals the essential part from the car. Back at base, the captain suspects this might have been a scheme by the enemy. The route under repair is confirmed to have not been under repair at all, so Hokuto starts to suspect those cyclists. The next day, while they are all supposed to be guarding Radar Station 2, Hokuto finds the cyclist from the accident, leaving the hospital, and offers to give her a lift to where she's going. What a strange coincidence. She's going to a lake nearby Radar Station 2. Once there, Hokuto decides to do some investigating and, calls the base to try to subtly indicate to them he's investigating something by saying, hey, I'm going camping. I'm just going camping with the women from the cycling club. And not everyone is tuned into his ways, though. As Kono says, if Hokuto is doing anything more than just hanging out with those pretty women, then he'll do a handstand. In the night, Hokuto observes the women in their natural form, pieces of the Choju Unitang. He gets surrounded before he can escape, and Unitang captures him. Meanwhile, all night, Minami waits for Hokuto to signal HQ with a report. The next day, the crew comes across the cyclists, and now the suddenly carefree and maybe drunk Hokuto has joined them. He insists, I'm done with TAC. Though internally, he tries to plead with Minami to understand he is being remote controlled. Minami suspects something is up and follows the cyclists on a motorbike. Kamen Rider content. They attack her and then turn into obvious figures to do group bike tricks and turn into Unitang. Hokuto gets launched into the sky, but on his way down, the remote control unit falls out and him and Minami transform into Ace. Ace has a, full half-episode fight with Unitang, where it beats Unitang once and then it reforms. And then the leader of the club turns into a homing missile drill horn power-up for Unitang. In the end, the crew in TAC Hawks manage to free Ace from this sticky webbing that enables him to fire his attack, which is acid to melt Unitang. What the fuck? The day,
Yeah.
The day is saved, and back at base, the crew laugh as the captain insists Kono has to do his promised handstand. The end.
There's a lot going on in this one.
That shit got melted.
Yeah.
Mel, what were you going to say?
Acid spray is something.
Yeah.
I like this one, though.
Yeah. Where was I going to... I wanted to go to... Okay, so yes. First of all, the most fantastic thing in this episode is the little figures of the 10 women stacking themselves up on bikes to turn into Unitang.
That's the thumbnail this week for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely, 100%.
Can I make a request that it be that, and for previous episode it's Jiro's ice cream atrocity?
I do have that. I have also Go and a gun, but we can put it.
Ooh, yeah, that's also pretty good.
Also,
I defer to your judgment.
I mean, I also probably won't be at my place, so maybe that's the Brad's judgment this week.
Oh, fuck yeah!
I'll send the photos though.
Okay.
So yeah, that is 100% the stupid highlight of this episode. Is just hell, absolutely. Also, Hokuto getting launched into the sky as an obvious figure is also fantastic. It's the immediate transition from guy to the least convincing effect I've maybe ever seen in Ultraman. It's so good. Yeah.
I like that Minami can jump 50 feet.
Yeah.
They her and Hokuto keep jumping real high. They've been doing they've been training with Kami-sen. They've been training with Master Roshi. They've been wearing those turtle shells.
I feel I'm weird with this episode because I actually didn't really... I was kind of down on it as it started. There's a weird undertone to all of this where Hokuto's I'm going to be spending the night with these cyclists at their camp, and the show treats it as this there's this weird undertone to it for me where it's Minami believes that he won't be fooling around with these free living countercultural beautiful ladies
Yes.
who are all monsters in disguise. And I'm like, that rubs me the wrong way. There's some weird gender stuff going on here.
Yes.
But then when we do get to the kaiju stuff, it is a lot of fun. And I do think the spray goes hard in terms of how we've seen monsters die. Yeah. It won me over. But at first I was kind of like gritting my teeth like, where are we going with the monster being 10 women?
It definitely leans into that with the speech that they remote control make Hokuto give to Minami, where he's like, "Oh, why can't you dress up nice and pretty like these ladies?" And it's like,
yeah.
So it's like this weird thing where it is. That's an asshole thing to say, but the motivation of the show here is kind of like is coming off as critical of women who dress up. And it's like, what are you doing? Like,
and like it's all in service to this, like I feel like they frame this as a Minami episode of like, oh,
they do.
Deep down, she knew her man wouldn't betray her like that. Sometimes you just gotta trust the people you love. And I'm just like, I don't know about that. But I do think it's cool when they stack up and transform. That's dumb.
I feel like I liked it more enough as a Minami episode. I felt like, oh, well, she's doing something and gets stuff.
She is doing stuff. I do like that Hokuto is like out of it, and he can't be saving everyone all the time.
Yeah.
I definitely quite like her like waiting all night stuff, where it's like I think the shot of it is very good. It's very it's just like quietly quite sad.
Yeah.
Of just her on her own at night with just this one little light on her, and the rest of the room in darkness. I think it's good. Suitably lonely. Where else was I going? Where was I taking that sentence? Was I taking it anywhere when I said and probably not. Maybe not. Maybe I don't have any more to say.
Fine. I think this is better than the first one though. I'd say I like this one. Gets a light thumbs up from me.
Yeah.
Monster's neat looking. I don't know if it's like a fave, but I think it's a fun design.
A land of light thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If I saw a land of light thumbs up, I'd be terrified I was about to be executed.
Oh, you're going for that historically accurate Roman shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, when we see the land of light for the first time in one of these shows,
it's gonna be wild.
Is it? Will they go Rome? Like, what's it gonna look like?
I think Mel mentioned something to do with Greco-Roman stuff.
I think they were leaning that way when they designed Ace, and that was kind of an idea they hadn't had. But what we actually see is who knows.
Oh yeah, didn't you say? Is it like a Centurion helm kind of?
Yeah, kind of like a Centurion
sort of
vibe to Ace's design.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually, now that I think, did we have a conversation like this before that I'm completely forgetting? We may have.
I mean, I forget it too. So.
Yeah. I'm curious what the aesthetic choices are, because they're gonna have to make it look like something.
It might even be consistent between eras too. Who knows? We'll have to see.
We will have to see. What else is going on in this episode? I really like that horn. I think that's a cool horn.
It's neat.
I like how the horn like transplants onto her, the kaiju.
Mm-hmm. I think her being like the leader. I'm like, why are you separate from the Choju? And then she becomes the kind of homing missile drill horn shit.
I like the green screen when Hokuto was trying to sneak out of camp.
That was hilarious green screen. It was so funny. Yeah.
I'd always wonder when the green screen how like it actually looked on 670 CRTs, but yeah.
That's true. Presumably it looked less obvious. But as is, we got the joys of truly terrible green screen Hokuto. It's pretty good shit.
I do think they're getting better. I'm just like scrolling through the episode here now, honestly. But I feel like in Ace they really have gotten a little, like Return was already a step up, but Ace I feel like they're doing an even better job of like making the like actual like town sets and miniatures that they're destroying in these big fights look like lived in and real and like a little bit more detailed than what we've seen previously. Just the level of craftsmanship there has gone up overall, I'd say, as they've done this a million times.
There's a bit in this, I think it's this episode, it might be next one, but I think it's this one where after, what's it called? Unitang. After Unitang reforms and heads somewhere else, it's kind of walking through town as like a tram goes by and some cars go by. And I'm like, there's some extra attention to detail here that I appreciate. I think it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think episode. I like this episode overall.
I like this episode. I am pro. Well, I mean, maybe not. maybe pro is a strong word, but when Ultraman's being weird about women, it's, you know, you can dig into it.
Yeah. It does give us material to talk about on this podcast.
True. And at the end of the day, that's all I want Ultraman to be. You know, well, I say all. I do quite like it when it's good, but you know, it's optional. Who made this episode?
Fuck, I wish I could tell you, because the director is Kazuo Hirano, who there is nothing written about anywhere I could ever see. Absolute, like, just no Japanese Wikipedia entry. Only IMDb I could find, I think, is for an unrelated person with the same name. So yeah, directed a few episodes for this show, it looks like, but just no information that I could find on this person. But then written by Shozo Uehara, which I guess tracks.
Yeah.
Cool. Mel, what's going on with this episode?
We got special effects director is Kazuo Sagawa, designed by Yoshio Suzuki. He's a psychedelic guy. The kaiju does have 8 breasts, essentially. Because
yes,
women.
yeah, we didn't. I initially, this was in my summary, and then I said, I'm going to cut that out of my summary, I'm just going to include it in my notes and talk about it. And clearly, I just forgot to talk about the fact this kaiju just has 8 boobs.
I didn't even notice, I'm going to be real.
What?
But yeah. I didn't notice.
I saw it immediately. What are you talking about?
It's right there! What are you
Most respectful Ultra Hero. Oh, yeah. How the fuck did I not notice this? Hold on.
I was like, I think you'll find Unitang's eyes are up there.
Actually, though, how the fuck did I miss this? It's egregious.
I'm so baffled.
Holy shit. Oh, that's funny.
Anyway, Mel, continue.
Yeah, and also from the Toho team, we have Ken Kamura was in charge of the women dolls, and then Takashi Nagamanuma did the bikes. So
nice. Well done to those people. Very important work that you've done for our podcast specifically. They did it for us. They knew.
Yeah.
Is there anything more to say about this episode? I feel like we're going on at a very fast clip, but sometimes it is what it is.
I have a feeling we might have more to talk about next week. Just a hunch.
Oh.
Maybe.
Same.
As in we all watch the preview for next time.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. we're fucking in. It's happening.
It's a good thing. It's also a good thing I saw the preview before I looked at the pages in the booklet, because it's just in the page. The image they use for that episode is just that. So
that's really funny.
I guess I should say too, the one time I bust out laughing a few weeks back recording this podcast because the book spoiled me on something. Is the very last page is just a big picture of that thing that we were laughing at.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah. So it just hit me right in the face.
Man.
No longer mystery, but oh well.
Listeners wondering, I wonder what they could be talking about. They're not wondering. They know. They know.
They know.
If you don't know,
you will in a week.
You will in a week. Also, I don't recommend watching The Phantom Menace. It will be too confusing for you. Okay. Episode 12 of Ultraman Ace is called The Red Flower of a Vicious Cactus, featuring Cactus Choju Sabotenda. A Cactus Choju is fought off by Ace, but ultimately not defeated. Yapul remarks it doesn't have the power to beat Ace, so it should turn small and absorb power. It becomes a cute...
They've
yeah
really, in this show, like to start with, like, the kaiju stuff, like, right off the bat, I've noticed. Which is kind of a nice change of pace.
Yeah. They're mixing
like, as much as I love a big mystery at the start, it's like, sometimes it's cool just to have the thing right up front.
Mm-hmm. Sabotenda becomes, a cute little cactus with a carnivorous red flower. It sneaks its way into the stock of a father and son who are selling cacti, or at least trying to sell cacti, not very successful. The son, named Saburo, sees the cactus eat a bug and decides, well, this is my pet now. Naturally, as you do.
Same. Me.
He buys it from his dad, too.
He buys it from his dad. Yeah, his dad's like, well, you gotta buy it. And gives him 50 yen for it. He shows off this cactus at school and gives it a name, names it after himself, and then in the middle of the night, the cactus fucking kills a guy. Straight up, just fucking murders a guy. Hokuto and Minami try to investigate because they're trying to follow up on the vanished Cactus Choju, but they have troubles with a detective who insists that no, this crime was not committed by a cactus. Well, first of all, this crime was not committed by a Cactus Choju. Aren't Choju really big? This crime was committed by something really small, the opposite of really big. It occurs to Hokuto this might be the work of a normal-sized cactus, and the detective says, are you fucking stupid? Hokuto and the detective both wind up calling in at the same scientist, both with the question, could this have been done, could a cactus be carnivorous? And the scientist says, that is entirely possible. It is entirely possible.
I think I need to check this guy's degree.
Yes. He's like...
So I looked up that thing he said about the Brazil cactus and the lizards. I couldn't find shit. I'm gonna just
no,
throw that out there.
I think the implication was it was this kaiju.
That makes sense.
It's Ichinotani science time. He's in the Ichinotani club.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's entirely possible for carnivorous cacti to exist because it could be a mutated cactus. And now the cactus theory is back on the cards, and the detective is like, all right, man, I'm out. You can take this. I'm fucking done. I'm quitting drinking. Hokuto tracks the cactus to Saburo. He questions children. But Saburo insists, I threw the cactus away. And Hokuto believes him. He did not. He has forged a bond of brotherhood with his pet cactus that just wants to kill and eat everything in the same way I form bonds of brotherhood with other people's cats. The cactus is out of control, though, and manages to eat half of Dad's meal while he's not looking, which, I don't know why I've used that as the first example of the cactus being out of control, because what it does immediately after is run off outside and attack and eat a couple, which is escalating.
Who have a weird murderous intent when they see this cactus on the road. I'll run that fucking thing over.
And they're like, we're gonna get it. Motherfucker.
See, I thought the implication was that the cactus was so strong that it withstood the hit.
It's first of all, don't try to run over cactuses with your vehicle that requires, like, tires full of air.
Yeah.
Second, It's just a little cactus, bro. What's your fucking problem?
There's a weird perception of what teenagers are in the show.
There is.
Yeah,
there
a
is.
little bit.
Rich teenagers, specifically in this one, because it's a sports car. And
That is true.
they get eaten. Their clothes are left behind. The show is very eager to show us the empty fancy clothes that went in. The crew show up, and this time Saburo can't really pretend that his pet cactus doesn't want to eat people. What with it just eating people right there. But Hokuto says, we can't shoot it here. There was an episode in the last show where they shot a bug and it grew really big, so we have to be careful. So instead, they launch it into space and then shoot it.
To be clear, they launched the space still with the sports car.
They launched the car into space, and then your pool goes, I don't know why they thought that was different to shooting it on Earth. You gave it the energy we needed, thank you, I guess. And now the cactus turns back into Sabotender, and the battle is on. The crew launches an attack using chemical weapons that will definitely do damage to Sabotender because cacti are mostly water. That's what this chemical weapon attacks. To which I say, aren't you mostly water too? What? Are you gonna wear a gas mask? No? Anyway. Hokuto's
Remember the time where everyone in Matt wore a gas mask except for her Hideki Go and he died and became Ultraman?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I also remember that time that the Monster Attack team launched an attack on a kaiju where they're like, well, we're gonna bring the temperature down to like absolute freezing. Also, Ueno is just gonna be in there. He's just gonna be there for that, like unprotected, and then he starts to freeze to death. And it's like the plan's gone awry. What do you mean? He was there, of course it did. Anyway, that's a great episode. Yeah, Hokuto's Hawk goes down, and he ejects and transforms with Minami. Once again, she just leaps into the sky. She's very good at this. Ace battles Sabotender and eventually uses another new dismemberment attack to split Sabotender open like a piñata. And like a piñata, all the goodies spill out. Later, Hokuto and Minami find Saburo selling cacti, claiming they will be carnivorous choju cacti, and his dad's pride is sapped by the realization Saburo was practically giving them away for free. The end.
This is my favorite of the bunch this week, I think. It's a lot of fun.
I think all of them are different degrees of fun, but this is probably like the most good, silly one.
I love this goofy little cactus. How does the genius? How does the cactus move? Well, it just kind of hops.
Hops around. Because I think in Mirror Man we had like a cactus thing too, right?
Did we have a cactus?
I don't think so.
Did we?
No.
Or did we not? I can't remember. But the cactus thing stood out to me because I feel like this is the second time we've encountered it, maybe?
Well, we did have a cactus island in Mirror Man, but...
Yes. No, sorry. That's what I was thinking. So, I was thinking of that because the thing that I keep coming back to is every time I see cacti in these shows is the very first episode of Kamen Rider where they do the protagonist switch. It's like cactus themed, like the villain and everything, and he does like cactus bombs. And I'm just like, what was in the air with like cacti stuff in like early 70s kaiju? I don't know. It stuck out to me. But this is my favorite by far. The way this little cactus just jumps around and like launches at people and just kills them. Oh, it's fantastic.
They launched a sports car into space.
We can't just shoot it. So what we have to do is pick up this car. We're not going to move the cactus at all. We're just going to pick up the car and go to space and then blow up the car. And then they blow up a car in space and a cactus is left over and some menacing laugh happens. And I'm like, this is what television was made for. Thank you very much, Ultraman Ace. I also just love the little guy sneaking in snacks. Perfect shit.
Yeah.
Him like grabbing the dad's chicken like right off the stick is pretty good. And then
was Saburo also the name of the bird kid?
Yeah, there's a bit of the bird kid too.
Oh. Every time we got a kid named Ultra Q or a kid named Saburo in an Ultra show, best friends with the monster.
Yeah, kid named Saburo.
I think I was trying to look it up. I think Saburo might also be the guy in the Paralinga episode of 7.
Which one's Paralinga?
That was the last Soji one. The telephone.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that him on the phone. I love that guy. I wasn't on the
That
podcast
too.
with that guy.
Yeah, you weren't for that. You were for that
No,
one.
you were not.
Yeah. That guy ruled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting because I wasn't on the podcast. I keep forgetting about that guy being Jisoji guy.
I sometimes I forget that's it. It's
when I'm totting up like the Jisoji count of like the episodes, and I'm like, well, it's the robots, and it's Metron in Ultra 7, and I forget about that one. That one's also good.
Yeah. He definitely wrote no other episode for that show.
Yeah. Do not ask Anne. Her weird.
Do not ask the devs of Third Strike.
No.
That one still hurts me. I love that. I love 12 so much, and to learn the origins of that design.
It's funny. What else is happening in this episode other than little guy cute? Look at him go. Look at him murder.
I love the tongue action we get with the fucking whipping out and trying to strangle Ultraman Ace.
Absolutely.
So good.
Ace just rips off the tongue and makes like a scarf kind of.
Ace at this point, we have to discuss, is Ace the most just truly violent? Ace is just absolutely here to murder shit all the time.
I think so.
And like we've had this kind of murderous energy before, and like it would be difficult to top Ultraman's energy, where it just felt like every week Ultraman was beating up a puppy.
Well, the difference is Ultraman wants them dead, Ace wants them to suffer.
Oh, this is true. Ace is up against more obvious villains, but is willing to torture them. Yes. Mm-hmm. This is correct. And
terrible monsters require terrible ends.
You're right. Absolutely.
We still haven't seen Ace do genocide yet, but
yeah, this is the interesting axes of morality in Ultraman, right? If you wanted to make like a Gary Gygax morality chart for Ultraman, the axes would maybe be violence and genocide. And the differences between the two, I think, are interesting. Because Return of Ultraman 2, Ultra 7, lots of genocide, but not as violent.
Yeah. 7 was also like not always culpable, and sometimes you feel bad about it.
Oh, it might be levels of it might be murderous.
That's the second axis.
Yeah.
How into it are you? Reluctant?
Yeah.
Reluctant or like all the way in?
Moroboshi Dan weeping when Pegasa go. Absolutely.
Which means the next protagonist is going to be as violent as Ace, but feel really bad about it.
I see.
Like, I'm really sorry, but I need to tear your arm off.
Look forward to Ultraman Taro.
Yeah, Ultraman Taro arm off. Yeah. That's what he said.
It needs to happen.
Yeah.
This summer, you'll see.
Yep.
This summer. Ultraman Taro. What else is happening? Saburo, I love Saburo's bond with his pet, where he's like, I know it's killing guys. However, it is my pet. This is my pet, and like I say, in my mind, I was just like, oh, this is I could be a cat person, absolutely. And this is a cat. A cat just kills everything. Yes.
I think his dad is a fun, shitty dad character.
Yeah, because he's like he's kind of a fine dad, but like he's shitty.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's fun.
I like how he's like, listen, Saburo, I'm pretty sure there are 2 skewers here. He's like, I didn't have it. Jeez, I gotta go. He's like, was there 2?
He's like, I don't.
And then he sees the cactus snapping it, and he's like, oh fuck.
The cactus spits out the stick. It's fantastic. God. Yeah, I can, it's not quite on the level of Little Shop of Horrors.
What is, I feel like Sabo is like a thing I see associated with like what's Japanese for cactus?
I mean, it's like, think about Final Fantasy, what are they called?
Cactar.
Sabo.
Oh, cactus? Oh. What am I thinking of then?
Yeah, well, because for some reason, I wanted to say Sabo something, but like, let's see.
Oh, wait a second.
There must be some etymology thing there.
There must be.
Let's stop.
This isn't the first cactus-related thing where I feel like I've heard the word, like, Sabo something.
I want Bulbapedia for Ultraman.
Oh, no,
monsters.
yeah, Cactuar in Japan is known as Sabo Tender.
Oh, there we go.
That is right, okay.
I feel like I remember there's some, like, Sab something is the name of, like, the fruit.
Okay.
Let's see, like a fruit.
It's funny that Sabatender is, like, it's just the same name. It's not even riffing. It's just the same name.
Yeah, actually.
It's like, it reminds me of, like, the Pokemon where
it's with an ER instead of an AR.
Mm.
That's the one difference.
So there's Pokemon names, at least in Gen 1, were just, like, even in Japanese, this is just animal. I guess Seal exists too, but...
I guess the thing with the AR is it might still be the same katakana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pokemon Japanese names. I don't know, look this up right now.
Anyway, while Mel is looking that up, Brad, who made this episode?
Oh, yeah. Raticate's called Rata.
Okay.
Oh, Saboten is a Japanese word for cactus.
Okay, cool.
It was different from what I got from Google.
Well, what you got from Google is the
why.
loan word, I think.
Probably, yeah. So that makes sense. Okay. You know what it is? It's a combination of cactus and the English word pretender, allegedly.
Okay.
Which works for both Final Fantasy and this. In a weird way. But I don't think Ultra stuff, I don't know if they're putting that much thought into the name, actually. But, this was also directed by Kazuo Hirano, our unknown friend, which I wish I could find anything on, but cannot. And then once again written by Shozo Uehara. So same writer-director duo as the last episode.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yeah.
Mel, what's going on with this episode?
Special effects director Kazuo Sagawa and another Yoshioka Suzuki design. Apparently, it is one of his favorites.
Sick.
It's a good one.
Well, nice.
This might be maybe this is my favorite episode of the show so far.
What are we here?
It's pretty good.
So far? We had the Incel episode.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it as much as this one.
Damn.
Incidentally, my friend Triblast had a thread that he showed me where apparently he, like, episode 4 is one of his favorite Ultraman episodes. So I'm gonna put that in the description just because it's a pretty nice breakdown of all the combing through the episode through the teeth.
Oh, cool. Fantastic.
Yeah, let me share that with you guys so you can look at it on your own time. But
Nice.
It's pretty nice to eat down for someone who's, like, a series
Does
veteran, so to speak.
Does it dig into who drew that art, the manga art?
The manga art is really good.
The manga artist is someone who's been doing Ultraman. He does a bunch of Ultraman manga. Oh, hold on. Where do I... Fuck.
It's fine. You can
Damn, I need it.
Hold on, I think I
to-
retweeted to the account as well because
I need to think which one's my favorite now because I do like
Yeah.
that manga art.
Yeah. The thing is, here's the thread. It's retweeted to the account anyway, so the alt account. But let me just
Sick.
scroll down. I think it's Uchiyama is the name of the manga artist.
Okay. Uchiyama.
Mamoru Uchiyama. He is a guy we will meet later. Teaser for a while from now.
Cool. He's still around. Cool. Ultraman Wiki says is. Which is
That's
nice
what we're
to
going
see.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Wow. Do we have anything more to say about this last episode?
This is good fun.
It is good fun.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
It is good fun. To be honest, we're fine. We had an hour and we had another hour.
Yeah.
We did it.
I guess my thing is I do hope that this is a sign for more. Again, I a lot of the times what I wish Ultraman leaned in more to, and I keep referencing our Mirror Man coverage, but like I do like when the horror of the episode comes from like a more intimate place of like small scale, like person sized or smaller thing that's, you know, causing some tension. That sometimes the bigger disaster piece, monsters at large scale can't easily replicate.
Yeah.
So I do hope
For
that maybe
instance,
we get a little bit more of that.
Weird incel guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a reason those two, these two have stuck out to us so much.
Yeah.
But-
Or maybe we're just big fans of incels. That could be it.
I don't think we're fans.
No, that
yeah.
that seems like the right word, probably. It's probably, yeah. That's, that doesn't seem like any kind of misnomer. All right. Well, Mal,
Yeah.
do you want to hit us with color timers first?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
So color timers. First episode, 2 minutes, 29 seconds.
Oh, very nice.
Episode 2, 4 minutes, 50 seconds.
Damn.
It was
Yeah.
It was like half of the episode. Is what it felt
Yeah.
like the fight was.
The last episode has 3 of them? No, not 3 of them, 2 of them. Going crazy. First one's 2 minutes, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Second one's 2 minutes, 21 seconds.
Damn, 3 out of 4 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's got to be a new record. They never keep it on time like that. All right, nice one.
Yeah.
What else have we got? Have you got some backfilling to do on Ultraman?
We got the final Ultra Key run back.
A final Ultra Key run back. I apologize.
Yeah. So first off, Peter.
Yes.
Special effects director is Toru Motoba, who I forgot to mention last week, also was the special effects director for Sudar and Goga. The designer was Toru Naruto. Wiki makes this pointed note that Peter goes against Naruto's principle of don't just make a big animal.
That's right. It does go
Yeah.
against your principles, and we love Peter.
True.
The suit design was by a company called Extract Productions. The wiki suggested there may have been some minor design differences between the quote-unquote human-sized suit when he's going on all fours and the kaiju-sized suit where he's walking on bipedal. But I don't know, didn't really say what those were, so I guess have a look yourself. Haruyoshi Nakamura was the suit actor. And they filmed the scene with the fire near the Tokyo Art Center, and there were fire trucks on standby, apparently. Which, you know...
I still think about the end of that episode all the fucking time. It's so good.
I hope we get another...
Boxing.
I hope we get another boxing episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boxing just creates good drama.
Yeah.
Like, I love it's something about the transition from, like, the weird, like, nebulous, like, I mean, I think, obviously, it very leans heavily towards the read that Peter fucking dies, but, like, the sort of ambiguity of that explosion, then cut to him walking towards the uncertainness of the future, is such a great emotional, like, moment that I feel like the rest of what we've watched has struggled to capture that sort of same feeling.
Yeah, that whole
Yeah.
episode, fucking fantastic. Ultra Q, watch it. Watch Ultra Q.
That scene where he and Jun are just looking at that bottle
yes,
spinning in the water as it sings.
Fucking hell.
He's a clown.
Yes.
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 Pushes that person into the pool.
Oh man. Man.
Anyway,
All right,
bringing it back.
go for it.
Going to some real emotional, heavy-hitting episodes. Emotionally resonant kaiju. Call back to earlier this podcast. Totala.
My boy.
Right.
Special effects
Sea
director
lions
for
in the
this.
sky with diamonds.
Special effects director was Keiji Kawakami, who also did the Lily episode. Suit actor was Yukio Fukudome. The suit was modified from Maguma from Gorath, though they added whiskers to the Totala suit.
That makes sense.
The head for Maguma was done by Teizo Toshimitsu. The body was done by the Yagi brothers, and Keizo Murase did the tusks out of resin. But apparently they were so well done that AG thought they were real ass ivory. So that's pretty cool. The episode, like the Packus episode, had 4 scripts. The first 2 drafts were written by Hiroyasu Yamura on his own, back when the show was still on Balance. And it was basically much exclusively focused on, like, the alternate dimension stuff. And then in the later drafts, when it was Ultra Q, Tetsuo Kinja joined, and TBS won the kaiju, so they shoehorned in the kaiju.
Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm happy that we have this production information, but I remember at the time we already basically knew that was what happened with that episode.
Yeah.
Just by watching it, it's just like, well, clearly this was an episode. This was an episode with a cool idea, and then someone came along and said, "Put a kaiju in it. This is a kaiju show now."
It is. It's speak for yourself.
Why is there
but
a
also
sea lion in the sky?
Jun's like, I can't be above Tokyo. There's a walrus here.
That's the one, walrus, not a sea lion. I keep saying sea lion.
I was wondering what you were going for.
Walrus in the sky with diamonds. I apologize to Totala. Very important kaiju.
You're mixing up your Gen 3 Pokemon.
Yeah, this is true.
Because Celio evolves into Walrein.
Oh, you're right. I don't know anything about Pokemon. I've never played a Pokemon.
It's episode 60. What Pokemon is it, right?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, cool.
Poliwag, apparently.
Okay.
Fuck is a Poliwag?
It's the little blue one with the spiral on the belly.
Oh, this guy is...
Yeah, it's a tadpole.
Yeah.
It's a all-timer.
I remember back when Gen 1 was a thing that they tried to make Poliwhirl a guy. He's not a guy.
I see.
Anyway. Anyway, the reason for the short noticing putting in a kaiju last minute is basically why they just took an old one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And finally, the train. The pan-dimensional train.
Love trains.
Special Director Director was Keiji Kawakami. Apparently the train wall is specifically Otakyu Type 3100.
Thank you.
Apparently, the same model was used in the normal train as a normal train in a previous episode, the Underground Express.
Okay.
Because they had other trains that episode, so.
As well as the rocket train.
Yeah. The one that will slice you if you don't stand way at the end.
Yeah. It just has like wings going over the platform. Where make sure your legs aren't in the way. Dear God, please stand behind the yellow line.
I have no idea who made that train, to be honest, but well, someone else can tell me. Apparently, because it was based on a real train, in the colorized version of the show, they accurately colored it.
I see.
Which is interesting. And yeah, that's the Ultra Q runback. We're done. I can go into Ultraman next week.
Hell yeah. Ultra Q, known good television show. Please watch Ultra Q.
Still one of my faves.
Yeah, it's good.
Still in the top 3 out of 4 shows we covered on this podcast.
Listen,
Not counting Blazer. That's giving me a Q.
Listen. I'm aware that there are people that like Ultraman, that like OG Ultraman. I'm aware. It's not me. Could not be me.
Some of my friends do. I appreciate the opinions, though.
They're allowed.
Yeah.
You both are allowed whenever you feel like it, also. But you know, it is what it is.
I'm in the Ultraman as my current. When I think of the phrase 5 out of 10,
Damn.
Ultraman's my flagship for
A
that.
whole 5, really? Okay.
I'd give it a 5. Yeah. Listen, the highs are very high.
It's wild.
And
It's
the lows
wild how high some of the highs are.
But the lows aren't cataclysmically low enough for me to warrant lower, I don't think.
I mean, Drymon's pretty low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But then Pigmon gets smushed.
Ah, it does. Pigmon does get smushed.
I like how
This is the land of contrasts that Ultraman has created.
It's very important that Pigmon gets murdered harder than anything will ever get murdered again. Even Ultraman Ace's violence is not quite on the level of how hard the person in the Geronimon suit punched Pigmon. Although it wasn't actually Geronimon, it was the other one.
Jiraco.
Yeah, that's the one. So I don't have to stand Geronimon, thank God.
Ultraman Ace conceives of a saw trap for Pigmon.
Ultraman Ace says that would you like to play a game, Ultraman? It's fantastic. Oh man. Alright. Do we have any emails?
No, not this week.
Not this week?
I hope we...
I scared everyone after I told them that if I heard them talking shit, I was gonna Marucci them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Please come back. Please send in emails. We like hearing from you.
We will not actually tear your lower jaw off your body.
Yeah. I said that to my friends. I was just like, y'all need to see this shit. They're like, oh my god.
It's so much. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get emails next week.
Well,
For the thing next week.
I presume
Yeah.
at least one person that we know of is going to email about what happens next week. If not, then by all means enjoy your week off, your personal freedom.
It'll be our cross to bear.
Yeah. Okay. Plugs. If you want to follow the show, you can do so on Twitter at @ultra_Q. That is at @ultra_QUEUE. Mel.
You know where to find me, Dick Crowns and all that. We got email ultqpod@gmail.com. We also have the coffee ultq fund. Brad.
Yeah, you can find me everywhere at Be Invoked. That's BEINVOKED. And I'm having a good time out here. I'm probably not going to be making stuff still because I'm going to be busy watching bad anime.
I'm still my parents, so I can't do Abyss.
Tales.
Yeah.
We'll get back to it someday.
Yeah.
I'm itching to get
Me
back.
too.
There's exciting stuff happening in that game's story.
Yeah, we just got to import. Last off, we learned character development moments for protagonists.
Yeah. I love when people change and grow as part of a narrative.
Yeah.
You don't like it otherwise.
Opposite of his hair, though.
No. Love rules. Never change for anyone. I love how far I've warped that from what it actually is in the game, and also how I initially described it.
Yeah.
Everyone telling Luke and Tails, no, never change, especially not your hairstyle.
I need to get back to Love.
Me too.
It was a good VN. For now. I don't know how that goes. But, people seem to like that third one a lot, so...
Well, if you're a sicko who likes the first one, don't like the others.
I mean, that'd be weird for me and my personal sensibilities, but I'm open to it. I do like the first one, and if, the other two don't hit for me, then they don't hit for me. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
You're both on that. You just need to get back to pilled. Need to check out maxing.
Yeah.
This has just been my life for the last decade and a half.
Yeah. I need to get back to Conan. I started 5Ds.
You started Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds?
I did start. Didn't you see my tweet?
Oh, I might have seen your tweet. Yes, I did see your tweet. You're correct. You are correct. I forgot in the meantime. All right. That is a podcast. Join us next week. 3 more episodes of Ultraman Ace. That is episodes, what is it? What are we on? 13, 14,
13, 14, 15?
Yeah.
And 14,
one of those is the subs I gave you.
Yeah, 14, apparently, we're using subs that you... when you say you gave us, are they in the pinned? Or...
I mean...
Am I having to remember where they were?
It's just... It's you two.
Oh, it's just us two. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I did pin it, so...
Okay. I still don't have a full idea yet on what's going on.
I feel we'll see. It'll become more clear with time. Actually, I do need to pin it.
I was about to say, I don't see it in the pins. I do see our Paris mentioned image, though.
Yeah, I need to use that eventually. I have a pin for the future.
Paris.
Okay.
I'm so happy that Dark Souls font template
there we go.
got made. So you don't have to put any effort in anymore. Someone did the hard work. Yeah. I use that all the fucking time. Paris mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. That's us. Goodbye. See you next week. 3 more episodes of Ultraman Ace.
Goodbye.
Happy belated Easter next week.
Walk around the window,